What's going on, guys? So, testing the mic, testing the Z7 II, got the Mini 3 right here in front of me with some bird shit on the bench. So, seeing how I look, seeing if I look too saturated, and we're gonna do a little high wind. It's around 38 mile an hour winds, and we're gonna see what happens with this little Mini 3 Pro, which should be able to handle. I know it can handle, actually. What's going on, guys? You know, the moment that this puffy North Face comes out and these A gloves come out, that summer's officially over and this frickin' cold sucks. And it's a very windy day. We have 20 mile an hour winds, gusting to 38 to 40. So we have the Mini 3 Pro here. I figure why not fly this thing and try to get a little fall foliage footage. That's a hard thing to say, fall foliage footage. But regardless, it's still pretty. It's not an ideal day, but when these crappy days happen, that's when the winds kick up and we can test this little guy and see if it can handle. The Mini 3 Pro, just so you guys are aware, is level 5 rated. So let me I wrote that down. Here, I wrote this down. So the Mini 3 Pro, the official wind resistance rating is level 5 with the limit to 24 miles an hour. So 40 mile an hour gusts, 20 mile an hour winds. I think this thing can handle all day long. I've flown it in Hawaii, or I've flown other drones like the Mini 2 in Hawaii and the Spark, and they've handled pretty well, and I don't think they were rated level 5. So just so you guys are aware, the level 5 is 19 to 24 miles an hour, which is the equivalent to 29 to 38 kilometers per hour. Level 4 is 13 to 18 miles an hour, 20 to 28 kilometers per hour. And yeah, so right now we got 19 mile an hour winds to 38 mile an hour gusts, and we're gonna see what happens. It's windy and cold, and these are the videos that you guys need to thank me for, because I cannot stand doing them because I don't like the cold weather. So with that being said, we're gonna power on the Mini 3 Pro. I haven't flown this guy in a while. I've been flying my Mavic 3 a lot more. So we're gonna power the little Mini 3 Pro on. We're gonna power on the RC. Boom. It takes around 30 seconds, I think, for these guys to get going, but it's a nice combo. For those who aren't aware, the Mini 3 Pro, in my opinion, is one of the coolest little drones ever. I said that about the Mini 2. The Mini 1 was a cool drone, but it had horrible transmission, and the Mini 2 was a whole step up. So Mini 2 is a great drone for those who are new to drones. I would still recommend highly. You don't truly need a camera to rotate vertically, but at the same time, if you're doing reels or something for social media, it's a really nice thing to have built in to actually offer clients. But if you're new to drones, save your money. Don't even waste time with the drone that's $1,000 plus. Even though this is a great drone, go with the Mini 2, but this video is about the Mini 3, so let's rock this thing out. I'm gonna start a screen recording. And it's cold, and it's windy, and it sucks. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the screen recording on this guy. I am way off exposure-wise. So again, people who are new to drones, the minute my exposure is gonna be way off, all I'm gonna do is tap that Pro button and get into automatic, and to get into auto mode. Right now I'm pointing at the sky, so the camera's way up. Boom. And we have this guy right now ready to go. So we got satellites, we have everything kind of where we need. I'm gonna check to make certain. Let me see something. So I got obstacle avoidance off right now. So I'm gonna want it on in the beginning, and if I feel the need to turn obstacle avoidance off, then I'll go ahead and do so. But in the beginning of a flight, definitely put it on brake. I don't put it on bypass. I want the thing to stop so I can actually analyze a situation in the scene and determine what I want to do then. But it's usually brake or off for me. I don't ever use bypass. So I'm going to go ahead and hit brake. I'm going to click out of there. And you always want to start off never in sport mode, because that's going to disable obstacle avoidance first off. And also you're going to be in a really quick flying mode. So we don't want that. We want things throttled down in the beginning. So I'm going to keep it on N, normal mode, or you can keep it on Cine, but N is personally the place to start out flying, in my opinion. If it's a really gusty, windy day like today, where this thing probably shouldn't even truly be in the air, but we know we can get away with it. I know what I'm doing with flying, I'd like to think, and we're gonna test this drone out. But I definitely would hand launch it personally over taking off like here, because if you do get a gust and you take off, this thing too, the Mini 3 Pro, tends to wanna like lurch a little bit because it's the way it's angled, it's not perfectly flat. So with that being said, let's just get this guy in the air. So I'm gonna put the sticks in towards each other, start the props, and wait for maybe, ooh, it is windy and gusty. I'm gonna wait for the gust to not go so crazy and wish me luck. And I'm gonna push up on the sticks, commit, and pretty minor. I mean, we can go ahead and look at it, and this is what I would probably suggest doing in the beginning. Just get comfortable with what the drone is doing. So right now it's hovering, and you can see right now safely if it's gonna be totally blowing all over the place or if it's just gonna be kinda not that big of a deal. Right now it's not that big of a deal. But if it does, here, let me cruise out a little bit so it's not so loud. But if it does become a little bit of an issue flying back, you're gonna definitely wanna put it into sport mode. It's kind of like ocean in the currents. I know I've mentioned this before, but you don't wanna fight anything. You wanna work with the way the wind's blowing. Right now the wind's blowing from the north, but just be mindful of all of this stuff. Let's cruise over to that tree line zone, and I'm watching it, and I'm watching the drone right now, and it's gusty, but it's handling, right? So let's go up a little higher. I got obstacle avoidance turned on, mind you. Ugh. This weather is so horrible. All you do is like blow your nose and it's just not fun. So again, too, a little tip. I don't want it on auto exposure with this kind of scene because we have fall colors, we have kind of a moody sky. I want to dial in exactly what the exposure is going to be. Right now, that actually looks pretty good. I rather have it a little bit underexposed because I want to hold the sky in a little bit, and I could pull out, I know, the foreground and the trees afterwards. But again, with a real high wind day like this, you may want to be mindful or cautious about putting into a Cine mode because the Cine mode is going to have the slowest speed and it may get blown around a little bit. So if you do get blown around or you feel like you're losing control of the drone, don't panic. That's always the first thing, like you are in the ocean. You never want to panic because then things will go bad really quickly. You want to just be mindful and aware to throw it in a normal mode and to get out of the situation and kind of progress on. So here, let's go ahead and do a little footage. We'll go and cruise a little bit. I'm watching the drone right now, and the Mini 3 is handling. Not that big of a deal. Again, you want to test the waters always. You don't want to just dive in, fly the drone in a crazy kind of day, condition-wise, especially if you're not used to it. You want to just take things gradually, essentially. So let's go ahead and get up a little higher. And winds may be different when we get higher. So right now I'm at 107 feet, and I'm going to kind of play it carefully again. Like this little zone is pretty, so I'll go and do a little orbit around this zone. So let's go ahead and do a little maneuvering on the sticks. And I can still see the drone. There's a bird. I feel like the bird is a bigger threat than the winds right now. And then I'll kind of go in a little bit. And really pretty. So nothing is stopping me from getting beautiful footage with my Mini 3 Pro, even on a gusty, blustering day, except my battery. So my battery is apparently low. I'm gonna click cancel, and then I'm gonna get this guy back home and put in a new battery. So that was me having user error. Now this is a good thing though to pay attention to. So we're getting back home. We don't wanna be low battery when we have a really windy day, especially when it's colder out, because the cold is gonna zap the battery quicker and the winds are gonna cause the drone to have to work harder if you're going against them. But right now we're gonna cruise back. I'll hand catch it, and that's that for now. And we'll put a new battery in and kind of continue the process. So here we go. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, I mean, it's dancing around a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And again, if I'm wanting to land this thing with a really windy day, especially if you're by water or by a dock or something, which I've done before when I rescued some guy's drone that drowned because he tried to land on the dock on a windy day like this, and right when he was about to hit the dock, a gust blew it into the water. So I'm gonna throw it into sport mode now so there's no obstacle avoidance, and I'm gonna simply put out my hand and push down on the left stick and grab it firmly, and that's it. And we're gonna throw in a new battery quickly. Turn this guy off. I don't have all the batteries fully charged in my Lycus case, which is an awesome case, and I still have one that I need to give away. But let me see. I should have the hub in here. And hopefully, yeah, they're all needing to be in full charge mode. Right now, they're just in storage mode, so they're not going to be fully ready to rip, but let me go ahead and take one out and change it with the new one with as much charge as I have. And that one was the ultralight battery too, so I should get a lot more flight time considering with this new battery. Boom, put this guy down, get back in the air in no time. So the screen still records. That's good when you're not connected to the aircraft. Ooh, sniffles and cold and wind. It's gonna be a long winter. I need to get to Hawaii sooner than later. I will be in Hawaii, I would imagine, at some point during the winter, but for now I'm here, and life is as good as it can be for the moment. And we are here doing a video on drones, which I love. So let's go ahead, quickly take off. We kind of know what's going on. We tested the waters a little bit. I'm gonna push up on the sticks and make sure to commit. Just make sure you push up on the sticks firmly enough so that you actually get the drone some altitude and all is good. It's so cool with the camera how it can turn and rotate and go 90 degrees down. And okay, I'm gonna get out of this zone. And now I'm in sport mode because I'm being reckless. No, I'm just flying a little bit more confidently. But right now we can go up. I can see it's above the tree line. All is good. And let's go ahead and get some straight down footage, maybe. So right now I need to go ahead and slow down the shutter to let in more light. Still a little bit more. I think that's good though. And let's kind of see what's going on over here. Sometimes when you have days like this, just the wind and the movement of the trees can be really visually, creatively cool. So let me get down. I don't know where the drone is. It's so hard to spot this guy. There it is. These minis are really tough to watch. Even if it was orange or something, the Nano Plus was hard to see too. So we're kind of zooming over here. Strong wind warning. Aircraft unable to return home automatically. Don't worry about it. We got it. I'm not worried at all. So look at that. That's cool, right? Nice composition. So let's start recording. We're recording 4K 24 frames per second. And I'm just gonna kind of cruise a little bit this way. I'm gonna go into cine mode, which I gotta be more careful with because again, it could start to get blown away a little bit, but I see the drone. I'm gonna start moving the left stick a little bit to follow the curvature of the water. I didn't even know there was a path down there, but there is. Where are you, little Mini 3? Okay, so that's enough for that one. Let's try another little blip shot. Get over. Now I'm gonna put it back in the normal mode just to have a little bit more speed and try to find the drone visually. Again, this thing gets really quickly lost. Okay, there you go. And when it's windy like this, really windy especially, you have to be very careful because if you're going with the winds, this thing will go really fast and you'll just kind of cruise. Same thing with the Mavic 3 when I was flying. It was really windy like it is today. When you're descending or something, the Mavic 3 for some reason, well, the Mavic 3, I know the reason because the legs are so small and streamlined that it cuts through the wind and it just does such a great job at descending really efficiently and rapidly. So let's go ahead and see where the drone is. Now I got to find it again. Okay. So that's kind of a cool picture. Maybe I'll take a quick picture of that scene. Okay, way too dark. The shutter speed's crazy. Maybe, I like it richer like that. So I personally rather have it like that. And another little trick sometimes, even though you can crop and post, is to go here, go in the camera, go to 16:9 ratio, and it just gives you a little bit more of a zoomed in look, even though it's just cropping the photo for you. But you can utilize these clips a little bit easier into your edits because they're at the right ratio, but it just gives you another option visually to quickly, let me get back to 4/3, boom. So small and so fun to fly. Sniffles, I am sorry, but I have no way to avoid them with this stupid weather. Maybe we can do a 2x zoom and just do a little footage like this for an edit. Just kind of cruise. We can see that it's a windy day. This is a good thing when you know you have obstacle avoidance on because sometimes you just never know and you would rather be a little safe than sorry and have that extra added value. Because when flying the Mavic 3 with a 7x zoom, sometimes it can get kind of disorienting because you're so zoomed in. But as you guys can see, we can fly the drone and it can handle, even though it's only rated for whatever it is, 28 miles an hour, 24 miles an hour, we're getting 40-mile-an-hour gusts and there's really nothing major going on. It's not something super scary. There we go. Where are you, little drone? It's coming back to me. Zoom. This drone is just so cool. There we go. Put it in the sport mode to break through. And yeah, this guy says I can hang with the big dogs. Mavic 3 right there, ain't no thing. This guy can go and fly and do whatever it wants. Zoo. So anyway, guys, I'm hoping that helps show you that this little Mini 3 Pro can indeed handle, and it's pretty cool. I don't know if I should name them. What's your name, Mini 3 Pro, huh? I don't know. I love you too. You're a really beautiful drone and you're super cute. So with that being said, guys, aloha. Subscribe if you haven't. This channel is mainly, hopefully, good drone vibes only. That's really what I kind of feel I should name my channel. good drone vibes only. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I don't know if I should keep it to Atort Aerials, Atort Photography. I had Aloha Aerials Media as a possible name, but maybe good drone vibes only could be a fun name, something kind of different, and just kind of throw out the good vibes and the good drone karma out in the world for everyone, so people learn and get inspired with their drones as opposed to get mad at them and shoot them down. So anyway, guys, peace, aloha, bye. So when it's a really windy day like this, for me, I have more control when I land it in my hand and grab the drone. So what I'm gonna do is stick out my hand, push down on the left stick, kind of angle it so I can grab it. You can see it's gonna push up, but I just wanted to show you the positioning. So I'm gonna push down on the left stick, really windy, and it's gonna come down, come on, and I'm gonna actually grab the drone and get a hold of it so it doesn't just land in my hand and possibly fall on the ground or something. Thankfully I'm on grass, but to me this is the safest way of landing the drone when it's a really windy, especially gusty day, is by catching it and actually grabbing it so you have a little bit more control. So hopefully that helps with that as a little tip.